Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an Airbus pilot, and welcome back to the Synaptic Airbus A220. Today we are going to do our very first flight in version 1.0.3, and we are going to have a look into how the performance improved with this update and how the systems have changed. Now, we are going to fly in the beautiful Croatia Airlines livery available from flightsim.to, and we are flying from Zagreb to Split, which is a quick 35-minute flight around Croatia, including fantastic RNAV visual approach to runway 23 over in Split. Alright, now let's not lose any further time and get right into this one, and while we do that, a little apology from myself for my voice over here. I know that my voice is currently a little messed over. Well, that's the result of going to Wacken for 4 days of heavy metal festival. Alright, anyway, we're right here in the 220, so let's go ahead and start powering her up, bringing our batteries to life, and then we're initially not gonna do anything until things start powering up. But we can run down into the electronic flight bag and we can already import our flight plan from SimBrief and then have a look at our plan. So starting with a couple of basics, the significant weather chart is completely clear. Now then we can move on to the airport weather. Or at least we could do that a bit more easily if we could easily see that tab over here. They kind of need to change the color of the scroll bar. This is pretty hard to see in the daylight version. Alright, so departing Zagreb at 1000, arriving in Split, well, according to this, 20 minutes late, but we'll see about that. Then our weights are all fine, cruising flight level 230, and that's pretty much it. So looking down here, fuel, do we need any extra? Not really, so let's take 3,900 kilograms. Then we can go into the load sheet, import, and we do 3,900 over here. Like this, load aircraft, and here we are. Perfect. Before we continue with the setup, let's go ahead and go right back into here. So, checklist. Power on checklist, please. And then the ECL is on DU number 2. Can bring those on, can bring this on, and turn this on. That's new. The inlet was previously not simulated, now it is. And then let's also go ahead and start the APU, because it is pretty hot outside. Okay, if you started power on checklist complete, then AC power has just been applied through the ground power unit. Then let's wait for the airplane to power up completely, and while we're waiting for that, we can run down into our charts and quickly grab the latest departure charts. Can basically prepare everything right now. Let's have a look into the RNAV sits, runway 04, provided that it actually opens the chart. Here we are, and Kotor 1 Whiskey, that's it, isn't it? Nope, Nevis 1 Whiskey. Is that on here? Yeah, down there it is, perfect. Alright, then that is pinned as well. Fantastic, so we got that stuff, then let's run into the takeoff performance, and we got Zagreb 04, synchronize the weather please, and listen to that, the APU is coming online. And then finally our gross weight, well, if we take 53 tons for the takeoff weight, we are gonna be good. Okay, the rest stays in auto, calculate, and here we go, we know we can depart, all easy. Fantastic, the airplane has also powered up, so let's go into the pre-flight checklist here. First flight of the day, yes it is. So, we can start with the ice detector test, and this one has now actually been implemented. So we go down here, ice detector test, you can see the ice light starts flashing now, in progress, and then it's going to carry the test out pretty much completely on its own. Let's get the checklist over here real quick, and here we go, ice detector test is complete. Circuit breakers are checked, rudder trim we can only do once the IRS alignment is complete. So, oxygen masks. Looking good on this side, and looking good on that side. Okay, so oxygen masks checked, airplane documents are on board and checked, OABs checked, emergency equipment checked, gear pins on board. So, alright panel, let's go right into it. From here, there isn't all that much to do. The CVR test is not fixed yet. You still can't hold the button in. Then going up here, everything's looking good. Down here, good. Down here, we can do 4 clicks on the cabin, and the rest is good. Emergency lights on, seatbelts on, no PD auto, and the rest of the lights are looking good. And with that, the overhead panel is checked. Then we got the glass shield panel up here. I'm gonna go to full brightness on everything. Apart from that, there isn't all that much for us to do over here. So, like that. And that's it. So, glass shield checked. Displays. Let's call for terrain and traffic. And the same over here. Terrain and traffic. And then we need that, and that. Alright, and over here, let's also take a VSD. And the same on your side. Like this. Alright, so displays checked, ICAS and info. Now, if we look at this, this is all expected. And then info, that's expected as well. Let's acknowledge that. I got rid of the info prompt down there, is checked. Okay, so altimeters. Yeah, that's 1014. And that's set and cross-checked. So, center panel is checked, pedestal. Just for reference here, they have not fixed the animation of the flap lever just yet. That one does still not animate, unfortunately. But then again, this is only just the first update over here, and more updates will of course be coming. Alright, so pedestal is checked, and side sticks. Now look at that down here. All the controls are grayed out, while we all the controls are grayed out, while the RS is still in alignment, and we don't have hydraulic pressure yet. Alright, side stick checked, and that just leaves the rudder trim open. So let's just go ahead and start the rest of the setup here for us. Okay, so let's start on the aerodrome ground chart, and over here we can actually grab an Atus 124575. Like this.
I shall contact you. Have information Sierra. Zagreb Airport. Information Sierra. 1930 Zulu. Arriving and departing runway 04. Wind calm. Cav OK. Temperature 27. Dew point 14. QNH 1014. Transition level 110. Advise on initial contact. You have information Sierra.
Alright, Atus Sierra is on board.
Information Sierra.
Let's just confirm that runway again.
Arriving and departing runway 04.
04, perfect.
Cav OK.
Okay, good. So we got that. Then let's set up the radio here. 121.85 and 1183. Alright, like that. Then let's go ahead and request boarding. Haven't done that yet. And off we go. Okay, RS alignment is complete, so let's go ahead and test the rudder trim real quick. Here we go. Works to the left. Works to the right. And neutral. Okay, checked, and that's the pre-flight checklist complete. Well then, let's go ahead and start with our FMS setup. Backclick spot was blocking me. Alright, so here's the first little change that we see with the new update. And that's that you can actually select your database right on the main screen now. Previously, too many people didn't read the manual, therefore they changed it, and now you can choose between the Flight Simulator native database and the Navigraph database down here. Alright, we got that, so then let's continue. For the position, the RSS are all selected, GNSSs are selected, VORDMU1 is selected. Then, no, that's the wrong button. Alright, let's start with our flight plan uplink, complete. And then let's go into the secondary, and here we go, activate sec Thank you. And then we can start setting ourselves up here. So, Oscar Uniform 652 is going to be the flight number. Then, estimated time of departure is at 10. Departures, runway 04. And we got the Nevis 2... Correction, Nevis 1 whiskey. Like this, done. And then for the arrival into split, we're looking at the Nupso 3 Yankee arrival, which is this one for the RNAV visual runway 23, and we're coming from Lazul. Alright, RMP 0.3 is already selected, perfect. Then our outlet is going to be back to where we came from, Zagreb. And for that, we're going to cruise in... Where is it? Level 220. Okay, like that. Now, for the winds. The average cruise wind is 009 at 5. The ISA deviation plus 13 degrees. And then we can execute that and move on. Wind uplink. Here it is. Now, for the fuel figures. Got a zero fuel weight of 48,560. We don't know CG yet. For the fuel, 3,900 kilograms. Alright, taxi fuel, 122. Like this, and we don't know number of passengers yet. Execute. Then, onto the performance, where we can import the previous calculation. So, takeoff 2, 24, 29, 34. Like this. Flaps 2, bleed source on engines, off, noise abatement procedure is number 1 here. So we're going to use 3000. Alright, like this. Then let's go onto the climb panel. That's all looking good. Transition altitude down here is 10,000. Yep, execute. And cruise speed 275.78 is looking good. We'll do the rest later, and then let's have a very quick look into our departure. So, Quator 1 Whiskey departure. That's straight at 760, then turn right on 097, inbound waypoint 803, above 3000, 804, below 7000, and maximum 230 knots. And then via 805, above 90 to 806. And then to Nevis above level 105. Alright, that's all looking good. Then, the engine out sit is a fairly easy one over here. It's basically straight at 225 miles. So we're gonna insert that, and then the runway heading is 043. So let's go for another LDZA. Like this, with the radial 043. Okay, done. Alright, fantastic. Now, let's go ahead and check the flight plan. Nevis 1 Whiskey to Nevis. Then we should, of course, have removed the discontinuity down there. Copy, paste, select, and execute. And the same also applies over here, of course. Like this. Okay, so now, we do have a Lazul transition that we can... Oh, that's a lot of Lazuls. Alright, let's take that one. So, Nevis 1 Whiskey to Nevis, Yankee 137, Palace, Lima 862 Nupso, Nupso 3 Yankee to Lazul, and RNAV visual runway 23. Alright, that looks fantastic. Copy that to the secondary, and with that our FMS setup is completed. Then let's press Toga. Let's nav and VNav, initial probably 6000 I guess. Let's just pre-select that, and then we need a runway heading of 043. Like this. Okay, fantastic. That's our setup complete. So, then we can just acknowledge the messages down here. And V2 is 134. Get a manual speed here. 134. That looks good. Alright, and back to FMS control. Alright, fantastic. So with that, our setup is complete. So let's go ahead and call ATC for our IFR clearance. So which information did we have?
Parting runway 04. Wind calm. Cav OK. Temperature 27. Dew point 14. QNH 1014. Transition level 110. Advise on initial contact. You have information Sierra.
Information Sierra. And we are the CTN to Sierra. So let's just enter the call sign down here as well. Alright. So, what's his call sign? Zagreb ground, I think? Yeah. Zagreb ground, good afternoon. Creation to Sierra, information Sierra, request IFR clearance to split.
Croatia to Sierra, cleared to split via the Knives 1 Whiskey departure. Initial climb 4000, departure on 118.885, squawk 1000.
Croatia to Sierra is cleared to split via the Knives 1 Whiskey departure, climbing 4000, departure 118.885, squawk 1000. Alright. Knives 1 Whiskey, 4000, 118.885. And Squawk Machine 1000.
Ladies and gentlemen,
here we go.
good afternoon and welcome aboard Court Line Flight 600.
Okay, that's all looking good. Then we're done with our setup over here. So let's go ahead and do our departure briefing, and then we're ready to go.
Stowing your hand luggage.
So we're going to depart from Zagreb runway 04. Our departure today is the Knives 1 Whiskey departure with an initial climb of 4,000 feet.
Thank you for choosing.
And we have extra fuel and time. 1,341 kilos. No, I don't believe that. That's not completely believable. Nope. Alright, doesn't matter. Our departure is going to be from runway 04. We got no hotspots on our way taxiing there. It's basically straight out and then all the way down. Engine out sits straight at 25 miles. And for that, we are going to climb to an altitude of, well, 3,000 since that's in the 2,800 area down there, more or less. Okay, then straight at 25, pick up the holding. Actually, let's tell you what, let's call it 4,000. Doesn't cost us anything. If we need to return, runway 04 is available and more than long enough, and we are below the max landing weight anyway, so none of that is going to be any problem. We've got no specials, we've got nothing non-standard, and I have no threats for today's departure. Anything from your side? No? Alright, that's our departure briefing complete. Then let's say hello to our passengers. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel. In the name of Croatia Airlines, welcome aboard of our Airbus A220 on our flight to Split. We will be ready to go in just a couple of minutes here, and then we're taxiing at runway 04, and we are departing to the north, then setting course southbound directly to Split. Thank you very much for being our guests. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us. And if there is anything we can do for you to make it more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask any of our charming cabin crew members. Thank you very much, and once again, welcome on board. Okay, so we have briefed the cabin, then let's go ahead and close up. The boarding should be completed anyway, and then we can prepare pushback and departure. Oh, it just... interesting. No comment. Okay. So, final load sheet. Zero fuel, 48714. A little bit heavier, but no problem. Okay, and the center of gravity, 27.8. Whoa, what's happening with the performance now? So, that's 134 passengers. Like this. Execute. And here we go. Alright, so, before start checklist. Departure briefing, complete. APU or external power, APU, holding at beacon. So, both removed, and then we are good to go. Ground Croatia, 2 Sierra, request pushback and startup.
Croatia 2 Sierra, push and start approved, face southwest.
Push and start approved, facing southwest, Croatia 2 Sierra. Okay, parking brake as required, before start checklist is basically complete. And from cockpit. Push and start approved, face west, and the parking brake is now released. After that, and you are clear to start the engines. Thank you, starting 1 and 2 in that sequence. So, engine 1 start.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard.
So, facing west, that means they should turn the nose to the right-hand side. Let's see how that's gonna go.
Our estimated flight time is approximately 55 minutes. We kindly ask you to pay close attention to the upcoming safety demonstration, as it contains important information, even for frequent flyers. Please fasten your seatbelts by inserting the metal fitting into the buckle and pulling the strap to tighten. The seatbelt must remain fastened whenever the seatbelt sign is activated. Please return your seat
Alright, number 1 is igniting.
and ensure it provides weapons must be set to flight and larger targets securely stored.
And the pushback is complete. Please set parking brakes.
Smoking and the use of e-cigarettes
Parking brake
are
set.
prohibited anywhere on board, including the lavatories. Oxygen masks will drop automatically if required. Pull the mask firmly, place it over your nose and mouth, and breathe normally. Remember to
Okay, ground, we have a good start on engine number 1. We are starting engine number 2.
life vests
Clear
are
to.
located under your seat. Put it on.
Engine
Fasten it, and inflate it only
to
after
start.
leaving the aircraft.
So look at that. Suddenly, once GSX is disconnecting, the performance is getting better.
Which is clearly marked. There are 2 exits located at the front and rear of the cabin. In case of evacuation, please leave all personal belongings behind and follow the cruise.
Okay, here's our lifter.
If any electronic device becomes hot or catches fire, please inform a crew member right away. The safety information card contains all details. Thank you.
Is that the ramp agent already? Not 100% sure. But I suppose we are gonna find out. Okay, that guy is leaving. Our engine does just about have ignition. Okay, so Ground, we have 2 good starts. You're clear to disconnect, show me the pin on the left side, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Okay, B4 taxi checklist. APU. Off. Anti-ice. Auto. Flaps. 2. Flight controls. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudders. Full left. And full right. Let's just do the left again. Alright, full left, full right, neutral. MyCath and info, checked. B4 taxi checklist complete. Croatia to Sierra, request taxi.
Croatia to Sierra, taxi to holding point runway 04 via Mike Charlie Hotel Foxtrot Golf 1 Foxtrot Alpha.
Taxi to holding point runway 04 via Mike Charlie Hotel Foxtrot Golf 1 Alpha, Croatia to Sierra. Alright, so straight at Mike Charlie Hotel Foxtrot. No idea where that Golf 1 is supposed to be. And here. Don't ask me why. Anyway, Alpha. Cool. We're clear on the left, and we're clear on the right. Alright, and off we go. I am going to add a little thrust here, since it is a fairly long taxi. And then it's basically straight out, and once we're on the long straight leg, we can do the B4 takeoff checklist. So here's a new one with the update. Can you see the flickering there on the PFD? I do hope that that's not gonna last for the flight, because that would look a little annoying. Can you hear those taxi sounds? That definitely does seem new. Haven't heard those before. Okay, so we turn left on Foxtrot, and then it's basically all the way straight ahead to the full length. Right side is clear, left side is clear. So, nice and smooth into the turn. One thing I did find is that quite a couple of you guys have complained that the nose wheel steering wouldn't work correctly, when indeed you guys have just been taxiing too quickly. Like you can see right now when I'm going nice and slow, you know, 10 knots for the turn. That's how you're supposed to do this. If you go 20 knots, yeah, then that plane is gonna start skidding. But that's not a bug, that'd be a feature. Okay, B4 takeoff checklist please. APU bleed. Off FMS. Set. Trims. So 3.4 is what we need. Okay, trims set. Flaps 2. Anti-ice auto. Auto brake RTO. MyCast and info. Tracked. Thrust. Checked. Runway. Well, we're definitely on the way to runway 04, so that's checked, and cabin ready before takeoff checklist complete down to the line. Alright, so Alpha is the very end, and we can already switch back to the nav display here. And that's it. To review the takeoff briefing, it's a lefty takeoff, 04, flaps 2, noise 2, speeds, what do we say, 24, 29, 34, and the sit straight out 760, then a right hand turn, and an initial climb of 4000. It's noise abatement procedure number 1, so we maintain this speed until 3000 AGL, so basically until 3400 on the altimeter, and then we just gotta carefully ensure that it doesn't go into altitude acquire already, but we'll see about that. Alright, do you have questions on the briefing? No? I like it.
Croatia to Sierra, contact tower on 118.3. Have a good afternoon.
118.3, Croatia to Sierra, bye-bye. Tower low, Croatia to Sierra, ready for departure.
Croatia to Sierra, Zagreb Tower, runway 04, wind 050 at 3, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 04, clear for takeoff, Croatia to Sierra. Cabin crew, prepare for departure.
04.
Okay, clear on the left side, clear on the right side. And here again, if the ground speed is nicely at 10, you can see no problem steering at all. Obviously, when you make it tighter, like now, you gotta reduce even further.
On runway 04.
Auto throttle. Why did that go out?
Auto throttle. Auto throttle.
That's interesting. Have I fucked something up? Let's just press toga again here.
Auto throttle. Auto throttle.
Okay, well that's interesting. Let's cycle the modes.
Auto throttle.
No.
Auto throttle.
Okay, manual thrust it is. Are you happy with that? I mean, there is nothing over here. And nothing down here. Okay, not sure why that is.
Auto throttle.
It worked when I did the very first small test, so I'm gonna put that down as show effect. There's definitely nothing up there that would warrant this. Anyway, bug report will be filed, and then we're ready to go. Take off. Just one more track.
Auto throttle.
Nope. Okay.
Auto throttle.
Okay, set takeoff thrust. Thrust set. 18 knots. V1. Rotate. Pause and climb. Gear up. Still not working. Interesting.
4 clear to land, lot 6 Papa Hotel.
Croatia to Sierra, contact Zagreb radar on 118.885.
118.885. Croatia to Sierra, bye-bye. Zagreb radar, Croatia to Sierra, passing 1900, climbing 4000.
Croatia to Sierra, Zagreb radar identified. Climb flight level 110 direct Zulu Alpha 803.
Climb level 110, direct 803, Croatia to Sierra. Okay, set climb thrust. And climb thrust is set. Set. Climbing 110. Autopilot.
Auto throttle.
But still no auto throttle. Okay. Well, climb thrust is set. Then we are going to use manual thrust. It may be a little bit annoying, but you know, manual thrust isn't like too difficult. Alright, flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1. Flap 0. Speed checked. Flap 0. So I just tried pressing the auto throttle disconnect button on my joystick again. Let's see if that makes a difference.
Auto throttle.
No.
Auto throttle.
That one? Nope. Interesting. First time I'm seeing this in the simulator. But yeah, always something new. The good news is, it's such a short flight, we'll basically be on climb power all the way up, and then on idle all the way down. So, we won't actually have too many problems. Okay, we are clear to climb to level 110. That means the 7.0 restriction out there no longer applies. So VNAV is off. Alright. So you can definitely go off already, and then just enjoy that landscape here. Alright, enough landscape. Here we go. That's the realistic configuration. Check flight plan alt. Yep, that's because we've climbed through 7.0, where the constraint would have been. But then again, we've also been cleared through that level, so nothing to worry about. Alright, starting the acceleration towards 250. Let's just finish this up. And here we go. Lovely. We do already have the green tone of the head-up display, now we just need the rest of the display. Approaching. Vertical speed. So now we gotta use a little bit of manual thrust here. But then again, as you can see, not really any problem. Obviously the human is not gonna fly as accurately as the machine would. But, you know, couple knots of difference, who cares? Set standard. Standard cross-check.
Sierra, climb flight level 200.
Climb flight level 200, Croatia to Sierra.
Tests.
Set. 200 checked. VNAV.
Is now permitted in
So,
cabin service will begin shortly.
8.3.
Thank you for your attention.
Here we go. So, climb thrust is set again. Alright, do we have a 250 restriction here? Yes, we do. At 805. That's supposed to be a 250 or a 250 above? No, max 250. Alright, that's okay. Croatia to Sierra. Any chance to proceed direct Nupso? That would be great.
Croatia to Sierra. Refer to your filed route via Nupso.
That's not what I asked. Clear Nupso, Croatia to Sierra, thank you. Alright, why not straight away? Direct to Nupso. Execute. Okay, that's a nice little shortcut. That's the type of stuff we are looking for. Now, let's see. The target speed should start increasing now. Well, let's go to manual. This is interesting. I have a feeling... You guys remember my first live stream with the plane where the managed speed target stayed stuck? Now it's staying stuck as well. And I think I know why. Do you remember? We had a 250 knot restriction. Now, we got a direct past that restriction. And for some reason, the plane hasn't cleared the 250. I think that's the bug. Because the same thing happened on the first live stream with the plane as well. So, I think we've identified what the bug looks like. I'm definitely going to submit that to the developer so that they are going to take a look at it, and then they're hopefully going to be able to solve that one. So, one more attempt on the auto throttle.
Auto throttle.
No.
Auto throttle.
Okay, well, is there anything we've forgotten?
Croatia to Sierra. Contact Zagreb radar on 122.53.
122.53, Croatia to Sierra, bye-bye. Zagreb radar, Croatia to Sierra, level 170, climbing level 200. Alright, and passengers are released.
Croatia to Sierra. Zagreb radar identified. Good afternoon. Climb flight level 230.
Climbing flight level 230, Croatia to Sierra. Set, 230 checked. Okay, and with that we're now climbing up. So, let's take a quick look at the arrival. I think it may be realistic to expect a shortcut somewhere here, if there is no departure.
Zagreb control radar. Speedbird 66
Okay, so
320. Speedbird 66 kilo.
714 to Lazul. Let's plan that. So something like this.
Speedbird 628 at flight level 380.
Speedbird 628.
Yep,
Good
that
afternoon.
one looks okay. So let's see, we want to reach 509, well actually Lazul in 4000. And then we got 19.4 miles. So 19 divided by 3 is basically 6. So 6,000 feet, so basically 714 in flight level 100. Alright, active. Copy the secondary.
Flight level 240.
Then we have 714.
Leaving flight level 260 for flight level 240, Carolyn 1977.
Crossing.
Hello 358. How's the ride at flight level
100. Add or below.
Light chop up here, nothing too bad. Hello 358.
Done. Execute.
Croatia to Sierra. Expect the Arna Victor runway 23 approach into split. And have you got information, Tango?
Pressure to Sierra, we'll check information Tango, expecting the on-off visual runway 23.
Transavia 5724.
Okay, short flight.
On 119.885. Good afternoon.
So let's see, split. AGC. On-off stars 23, I think that's it. Yep, Nupso 3 Yankee is on here.
Carlin 1977, descend to flight level 220.
And then on-off visual 23, good. So let's have a quick look. Nupso 705, 714, Camix, and there is 1000 to go. Vertical speed. Okay, so Nupso 705 above 7, 714 and Camix,
52 and a 903.
and then via 701 towards Lazul, and we got 701 and Lazul.
Switching to 119er decimal.
Okay, then let's have a look into the on-off visual.
52 and 903, 7 Delta Mike.
So from Lazul via 509 above 3000. And let's see, we got Lazul 509 above 3000, Nurat 185 above 3000, and that's checked, and then Roca, and it's basically just a 3-degree descent here. And Roca is at the MDA, and the MDA is 2000. Okay, easy. So reaching 275, we can go back to manage the speed here.
Down to flight level 320, Lufthansa 3 Foxtrot Papa. Lufthansa 3
Alright. Good. So the route is checked, and then for the missed approach, for the visual segment, after Orca, proceed on prescribed track, once to on final approach track, direct Delta Victor November, climbing 3000, so straight ahead. And the prescribed track now is via Sierra Papa 504, 505, 506. So fixed page. Sierra Papa 504. Sierra Papa 505. And Sierra Papa 506. Okay. And with those, we have now marked the circling approach on our nav display as well. Fantastic. So, that's basically all we had to do down here. We need an auto brake, we need a minimum.
Etihad 9 Golf Lima, identified. Good afternoon.
Like this. And apart from that, we don't really need anything, do we? Nope. Okay, good. So let's have a look into the approach page.
Control, radar,
Speed is looking good. 3 degrees is okay as well. Transition level. What do we have there? 10,000 and wind calm 271015. So transition level is going to be 110. Okay, and for the approach page, 27 0 at 0.
Turkish 9 Echo X-ray,
1015. Alright, let's take a 5-knot addition and flaps 5 so that we can vacate the runway early. Set landing speeds, and that's it. Alright, our setup is completed. Then let's start with the briefing. So we're arriving in splits, lots of MSAs on the way into there, but nothing that we wouldn't see, therefore no threats associated. The approach is going to be the what's it called? Nupso 3 Yankee arrival for the ANA visual approach runway 23, and we are going to fly that thing down to a minimum of 2000. The go around before Roca is with all the ANA waypoints. After Roca, we continue circling towards the runway and then go around straight ahead to Delta Victor November. Climbing 3000. Extra fuel and time. 340 kilos extra, that's half an hour.
Good afternoon, Ryanair 967 Lima.
Thank you very much for that. Now, for my part, we are going to fly a flight director guided towards Roca, and thereafter raw data and manual circling approach. Now, we're going to do that with flaps 5, auto brake medium, and maximum reverse to vacate the runway on the second exit to the left-hand side. We've got nothing special or non-standard, and threats. The terrain is a bit of a threat, but we can see that today, otherwise we are not going to fly the approach. Turbulence on short final is a bit of a thing there, as we are flying across the coastline, and then birds, since again we are flying across the coastline. What are we going to do for all of those threats? Well, terrain display will be on to have the second line of defense towards the terrain. Then our approach is either stabilized or it's not. If it's not, then go around, that's it. And for the birds, there's nothing we can really do except to anticipate that it may happen. The only thing that's worth talking about here is what happens if we get a bird strike right onto the window and can't see anything anymore, and well, then it's going to be go around and diversion back to Zagreb. Alright, do you have any questions on that? No? Fantastic. Say again?
Asian 5 Zulu Hotel, Zagreb control radar, identified. Etihad 11 kilo at flight level 340. Etihad 11 kilo, Zagreb control radar, identified.
Croatia 2 Sierra, ready for descent.
Croatia 2 Sierra, just a heads up, they're switching operational directions here in a bit. They'll probably still be giving you runway 23 though, while they shift. Croatia 2 Sierra, descend altitude 4,000 feet.
Descending 4,000 feet on 1015, Croatia 2 Sierra. Okay, VNAV path, and VPath. Look at that, now the target speed is going back towards 250.
Lufthansa 1454.
Let's go back on the manual here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have left our cruising.
Emirates 11 Mike at flight level 370.
Alright, engines down and idle, and down we go.
11 Mike identified.
Fantastic, so with that, we've pretty much done, yeah, everything.
Please note that the use of lavatories is no longer.
And once the cabin crew is ready with their announcement, we can do ours. You have the radios.
Zagreb control radar, Air Crete 5 India Romeo with you, flight level 340.
Let's keep
Air
this
Crete
distance.
5 India Romeo, roger.
Alright, I'm on the PA.
Lufthansa 1454.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, your captain speaking. As promised, a little update on our flight. We have now already covered more than half the distance towards Split, which you can already see coming up on the left-hand side. The weather in Split is fantastic, temperatures 27 degrees and clear skies. Thank you very much for choosing to fly with us today. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to see you all again on board of the next flight. And in the meantime, we wish you a nice and comfortable onward journey. Thank you very much for your attention, and again, thank you for choosing Croatian Airlines. I have the radios.
With Malta 628, roger.
Alright, Emmanuel, I've got the radios.
Okay. So, we're descending All the way down to 4,000. We have no more flight level restrictions after Nupso, so set QNH.
Result 36 identified.
And QNH 1015's cross check passing 187 now.
Contact split radar on 120.875.
120.875, Croatia to Sierra, bye bye. Split radar, Croatia to Sierra, 8,100, descending 4,000.
Croatia to Sierra, split radar identified. Good afternoon.
Alright. I was just thinking about something. Oh yeah, I think we didn't do the after takeoff checklist. My gas checked, complete. Don't have to do the high altitude climb check since we are not climbing that high, but I'm just gonna... No, I can't actually take it off, that's fine. Okay.
Zagreb Control Radar, Wiz Malta 9 X-ray uniform with you at flight level 340.
So, seatbelts on. And then let's put the sunshades back.
India 36 Victor at flight level 340.
She's smart, she's already got the sunglasses on. Alright, so once we are passing waypoint 714, we will of course start running outside of the VNAV guidance that we've just built for the shortcut. So I think once we're above the coastline, I'm just going to ask air traffic control if we can get the shortcut, and then we can either get it or not. We will find out once we're a little bit closer.
Radar Agent 28, radio check, how do you...
Nice modeling, huh? The delivery actually looks quite great on the airplane as well.
122.215, good afternoon, Speedbird 628.
So that was probably the only one cloud on the entire route.
Zagreb Control Radar, Lufthansa 6 Victor Romeo, flight level 370. Lufthansa 6 Victor Romeo, Zagreb Control Radar identified.
Alright, so here's the coastline. And I have a feeling that once we're over that, we can probably expect the shortcut. Split is located on the left side over there. You can nicely see the approach track and everything as well. So we're going to come in like this, then fly over that island, fly to the tip of that one, and then make that visual approach like this. And the airport is somewhere over here. Think that may be the airport? Something like this. The last real-world flight on this route actually had a pretty nice routing as well. They were filed direct to Split VOR, so they just flew down to the airport VOR, and then just did a visual approach like that. So that looked pretty cool as well. Okay, we're approaching 714.
Flight level 290, Turkish 6 Zulu Golf.
So let's do a 3-degree descent.
Hotel, maintain Mach decimal 76.
Mach decimal 76.
Actually a little bit less while we're slowing down. And then we're approaching level 100. So lights and signs. Approach checklist please. So, FMS, set, minima, Barrow 2000, auto brake, medium, ICAST, checked, arrival briefing complete, descent and approach checklist complete.
Malta 63 Charlie November identified. Good afternoon.
Alright, the speed is nicely reaching 250. I'll tell you what, let's do level change.
We are now beginning our final approach.
Croatia to Sierra, any chance to proceed direct Lazul?
And stow them until we arrive at the gate. Kindly return your
Croatia to Sierra, clear direct chemics, descend via Nupso 3 Yankee arrival.
with your seatbelts.
Via chemics, descending on the Nupso 3 Yankee, Croatia 3 Sierra.
Temperature of 28 degrees Celsius. Our assigned gate is Terminal Gate 3. Thank you for your cooperation.
Okay, well that is too bad. I'll keep descending anyway, just in case.
Beeline 9 Victor November, climb flight level 360.
I'd rather keep it low at the moment.
To Sierra, clear direct Lazul, descend via Nupso 3 Yankee arrival.
Go to Lazul and then descending via the arrival, Croatia to Sierra. Okay, direct Lazul, and then descending with the arrival leads us all the way to 2000. Set, 2000 checked. So Lazul is 13 miles out, then we don't need to reduce just yet.
Looking for the traffic. Air Crete 5 India Romeo. Griffin 75 Juliet.
And let's keep the speed at around 250, just not too quick. Here we go. As you can see, thrust management is actually pretty easy. It's just that people get so used to an auto throttle. But, as you can see, no problem at all.
Leaving flight level 230 for flight level 240, United 386.
The key is just to anticipate what your airplane is going to do. If you are 10 minutes behind the aircraft, then yeah, things can go wrong. But if you do everything on time, if you really keep an eye on what your airplane is doing, and if you anticipate what it is going to do, basically, as long as you're ahead of the airplane, it's really easy to fly without an auto throttle. That's why I, didn't really bother when it wouldn't arm on the runway. Which was strange, nonetheless. I have no idea why it happened. Definitely going to start investigating. But operationally, it wasn't really a concern at all for me. Alright, let's start slowing down as we're about to join the final approach track.
Croatia to Sierra, 2 miles from Murat. Turn left heading 070. Descend altitude 3,000 feet until established on the final approach course. Cleared for the RNAV Victor runway 23 approach. Speed below 185 knots until established.
Croatia to Sierra, descending 3,000 further with the procedures, reducing 185 knots, and cleared RNAV visual runway 23. I'm going to ignore that heading because we start from Lazul.
Shanxi 74 Kilo Hotel identified. Good afternoon.
And we're nicely reducing speed, flaps 1. Speed checked. Okay, vertical path has captured again. Flaps 2. Speed checked. Nah, looks like I've been a tad too fast. But you can nicely see how the reversions are working here. And most importantly, that they are working.
Up to flight level 360, Air Crete 5 India Romeo.
Okay. So once we're in Mount Nurat, which is the final approach fix, we can arm the approach mode. In the meantime, let's get a little bit of speed brake here to help reduce the speed.
Ryanair 9 Charlie Bravo, flight level 370.
Alright, you can see the points we created on the fixed page over here. Those are basically going to guide us down the approach. Alright, speed instruction was 185, we have that, so speed brakes retracted again.
Aircrete 5 India Romeo.
So you can see RMP approach is on, and the final approach fix is marked, which is Murat.
Out of flight level 340 for flight level 3.
And RMP 0.3 is
India Romeo.
down here as well. So as soon as it is sequencing Sierra Papa 509, we can approach
with you
mode.
at flight level 370. Lufthansa 6 Victor Romeo Zagreb control radar identified.
Emirates 81, just confirming you have us.
Emirates 81, loud and clear.
Here we go, waypoint sequenced, approach armed. So approach FMS, waiting for VGP to arm.
Zagreb control radar, Wiz Malta 6723, climbing flight level 300.
I think that happens 2 miles prior to Murat, but don't quote me on it. I might be confusing it with another airplane right now. That's a problem in flight simulation. You're learning so many aircraft that sometimes it's not that easy to differentiate between them.
Egypt Air 773 at flight level 350. Egypt Air 773, roger. Croatia to Sierra, contact split tower on 124.675 when established.
124.675, Croatia to Sierra. And here we go. Exactly at 2 miles, VGP came on and has captured. And then the go-around altitude from here would be 4,000. But we have the field in sight, so I'm going to disregard that and keep the 3,000 that we're going to have later on, when we do the go-around on the visual segment. Split tower, Croatia to Sierra, established on the Arnov visual runway 23.
Croatia to Sierra, split tower, expect late landing clearance, runway 23.
Alright, so this is looking very good. And let's go manual. Flight directors off. Okay, the final approach speed is gonna be 123 plus 5, so 128.
2,500.
Checked. Alright. Gear down, flaps 3. Okay, we're approaching the tip of the island. Let's brake left.
Approaching Amos.
So, over the tip and then along the shoreline. So, continue. Flaps 4. Speed check, flaps 4. And flaps 5. Speed checked, flaps 5. Okay, we'll continue to slow down. So, the target from the Arnov waypoint is probably the harbor over here. Alright, landing checklist. So, altimeters, QNH 1015, flaps 5, cabin ready, V4 landing checklist complete. Continue approach, Croatia to Sierra. Okay, then we can start the left-hand turn. Runway is right over there. We'll make it a nice and shallow descent right now. In an ideal case, we would end up with 3 miles to the runway at 1,000 feet. And for the navigation, you can see that little road down there now. And so we're flying to the right of that road. And for the final turn, we're going to intercept that highway over here. That's leading us right down to the final.
1,000.
So approaching 3 miles from the runway in 1,000 feet. So let's resume a normal 3-degree descent. For that, we basically position our flight path vector on the 3-degree line. Then we just have to see something. Okay, that's our runway. We are right on the puppy, which you can see over here. And then we are following the highway on the final.
To departure, Croatia 76 Hotel, good day.
Okay, let's assume we are clear to land. So we're coming in a little low right now. Correcting for that. Okay, right back onto the puppy.
Approaching 2-3.
Checked.
300.
Croatia 2 Sierra, runway 23, winds 350 at 5, cleared to land.
Runway 23, clear to land, Croatia 2 Sierra. Touchdown! And you can see the nose no longer slams down. That's part of the update as well. Nice! So, spoilers, reverse green. Manual brakes. 70 knots.
Croatia 2 Sierra, taxi to terminal gate 3 at your discretion. Stay with...
Gate 3 at our discretion will stay with you, Croatia 2 Sierra.
Croatia 2 Sierra, not clear what you said. Say again.
No, I don't care.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, gate 3 is over here.
Fun fact. Split is
So probably next to the KLM.
Palace, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the best preserved monuments of Roman architecture. Thank you for flying with Court Line today. Please remain seated until we reach our final parking position. On behalf of your flight crew, thank you for flying with Court Line. The local time is 12:47.
Okay, after landing checklist. After landing checklist complete. So nice and slow. The gate 3 has to be behind the KLM. Yep, there it is. Looks good. Alright, fantastic. So, I gotta say I'm really happy with that approach. Like the way all of that went, just fantastic. Intercepted the center line very nicely, had a very good vertical profile, we've been nicely on speed. That's all you can ask for, huh? Alright, and here's gate 3, taxi the light off. Alright. Here's the whole throttle line. Yeah, no GSX. We'll stay right over here, thank you. Okay, shutdown checklist. So, APU or external power? APU is on. Cabin crew, disarm slides and cross-check. So, flight control test required? Nope. And that's the shutdown checklist complete. So let's see, we got something in the info down there. Slat slow. Channel 1 in up. Okay. Alright. Acknowledged. Always something with this airplane, huh? But again, that's what the real plane is like as well. So this is not just Synaptic being buggy, but this is a feature, not a bug. I know that some people are not going to believe that, but airplanes aren't perfect machines. Airplanes really aren't perfect machines. Alright, so, chocks in place. GPU is as well. 28 degrees outside, so we can connect the external, but we are definitely going to keep the APU for air conditioning. And well guys, with that I'd like to welcome you all to Split. Hope you enjoyed the flight with us. Hope you enjoyed the little first look at version 1.0.3. I do hope that that auto throttle thing is just something we had spontaneously here, just a one-off, and not something general here. As mentioned, I did do one prior flight with 1.0.3 and over there it didn't happen, so I am definitely going to report that to the developers so that they can have a look at it. Nonetheless, for now, thank you very much for flying with us. As always, like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.